Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. So as you guys know, the New York Knicks went on to sign Derrick Rose to a 3-year, $43 million contract a couple off seasons ago. The off season right after we made it to the playoffs the first time since 2013, or the first time in 8 years, you can't say. So it was a really deserved contract for Derrick Rose, and Randall was fantastic that season. He was amazing the regular season. RJ made some progression the second year. He shot well from three, 40%, averaged 17 points per game, one of his most efficient years, or probably his most efficient year as a pro in a New York Knicks uniform. We saw the progression on the defense side of the basketball. Randall, obviously, he was like eighth when it came to MVP candidate voting, but it was way beyond just those guys, because when Derrick Rose came over to the New York Knicks through a trade when he was with the Pistons before that, we really didn't give up a lot at all. Dennis Smith Jr. and a second round draft pick, we really didn't give up a lot of capital. We were around 500. We're kind of like flirting with the playoffs. We're flirting with being in contention of the playoffs or like the seventh seed. And Rose comes over, he flips a switch for this ball club. He does a really good job mentoring quickly, helping out quickly, but also helping us produce wins out there on the floor, hitting big shots down the stretch. And he didn't rely on his athleticism as much the first time he was around with the Knicks. So the Chicago Bulls, he's learned his lesson or not learned his lesson. That's kind of disrespectful to say. I'm not going to lie. I apologize. But obviously, he had a very gruesome injury when he went on to tear his ACL versus the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs, and that definitely changed some things. So he's like, all right, maybe I should develop my three-point shot. I'm not always going to be so explosive. I'm going to try to stay in the league as long as I can. But yeah, he still had a quick first step. He still had that burst, not crazy above the rim athleticism, but the three-point shot was there, the fearlessness down the stretch, the passing, and I felt he's matured even more as a human. I feel like he's always been down to earth, this introverted dude, but I felt we just got a better attitude, Derrick Rose, but also we added Derrick Rose in a different situation with a better environment when it comes to the head coaching position of a Tom Thibodeau compared to a Jeff Hornacek. No Phil Jackson, this time a Leon Rose, president of basketball operations. So Derrick Rose is just freaking fantastic. So I had no problem with that contract at all. The next season, we obviously don't make it to the playoffs. We went on to win 37 games, and you started to see some regression from Rose. He has always had that mid-range, but he started to look a step slow out there, and sometimes he'll get hit by the injury bug. Obviously, big-time regression since the MVP Derrick Rose. You're never going to see that again, but from what you saw the prior season, it just wasn't the same Rose. He's getting up there in age. He's currently 34 years old. Right now, you went on to, it's just crazy. He's 34 years old. This dude, it's like in a blink of an eye, this dude is not a MVP candidate anymore. But then heading into this season, Quickly's getting a lot of minutes. The rotation is short, and a lot of things are changed up. McBride, he would sometimes play, not get tons of minutes, but Derrick Rose kind of just accepted this Nick Collison, Udonis Haslem role that, all right, I don't mind not playing, but I'm going to make sure that I'm always ready no matter what. I'm still going to warm up with the guys. I'm going to stay conditioned. And he just has had an amazing attitude through it all. And I love that. I absolutely love that. But it's brought us to the point that the New York Knicks have decided to decline Derrick Rose's team option. So he will be set to be a free agent, unrestricted free agent. He had a chance to make $15.5 million, specifically $15,596,339. That was a club option. The New York Knicks went on to decline. Came out by Ian Begley, all the big reports out there in the NBA world. So that's what I was getting to. Sorry, I just wanted to give you guys a little background because I feel we should really appreciate Rose. He helped us go to the playoffs. He just gave it his all, but Rose, I don't want to just say his knees are completely cooked, because when there's times he comes to the game, it's like, yeah, he was working shots and like there were chances of Derrick Rose, but he probably didn't even know he was going to play sometimes. Sometimes he didn't have his knee pads on and wasn't conditioned to go out there and play. So wherever he goes, I hope he just goes out there and balls out. If he stays with the Knicks, I'll just continue to love him in this role. And Derrick Rose, there's a report that Derrick Rose possibly is open to coming back on a veteran minimum, but does he go back to Chicago? Does he go to a contender? I would love to see him win a ring, even if it's not really him playing out there on the floor. But I don't completely regret the contract. I understand he was getting older during that time, but he was just such a great locker room guy, humble but quiet confidence about him. And he could relate to, like, there's some players on this team that are a little quiet, like a Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims, that quiet dude, and Derrick Rose is introverted as well, so they got along. But I'm just always gonna appreciate Derrick Rose if he stays with the Knicks or he goes on to leave somewhere else, and he's just been a class act. And I just really appreciate Rose. I was so excited the first time we got him, but it was even better the second time around that first year. But let me know down below your thoughts. Do you think the New York Knicks should bring Derrick Rose back on a veteran minimum? We freed up some cap space with this move. We'll see what the New York Knicks go on to do in free agency. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all. Let's go Knicks.